Welcome, welcome, welcome to Straight Talk with Shirley. Thank you so much for meeting me on a weekly basis. Thank you for all my new subscribers. Thank you for sharing the videos. My channel is growing. I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate each and every one of you for the comments, for talking back to me, and for spreading the word. I so appreciate you. So today I want to continue the conversation around building your mental fitness, right? And I want to really stay here for a little while because it is critical that we have very healthy mental fitness. Many of you go to the gym or you work out, you run, you do different things, you lift weights. You know, you want to be buff for those who are men and get your six pack, and for the ladies, you want to make sure the little things aren't jiggling under your arm. You are working on that, and it's so important that you do work on that. But here's the important thing. It's okay to work on your physical, but you've also got to work on your mental. It's important that you go to the gym with your mind. Your mental fitness is just as important as your physical fitness. Listen, I know many of you make sure you drink your water, you stay hydrated, you go to the gym or you walk. You are intentional about that every day. It's the same thing that you've got to do for your mental health. And today I want to focus on the topic rebound with resilience. That's how you're going to get through those hard places. And when I say rebound with resilience, it's saying that you're going to bounce back better from those challenging places that life has thrown you, that situations have thrown you. You're bouncing back from circumstances that you had no control over or mistakes you have made. You've made some poor choices, and it's time to bounce back. It's time to stop hanging out in the place where you keep beating up yourself. There's a quote that I love, and I learned it and I applied to my life, and I even shared it with my young son when he was playing football. The author of it is unknown, but it says, train your mind to lead and your body will follow. Train your mind and your body will follow. Train your mind to lead and your body will follow. And it's so important that we train our mind. Everything we want and do, everything we see around us that's created, start in the mind. So it's important that you have healthy mental fitness. So when we train our mind, our body will fall into line. And as you hear me say over and over and time to time, we are three parts. We are mind, body, and spirit. And we've got to feed all three. We got to have a practice for all three areas of our life if we're to, be healthy in that space. And so the 3 points that I want to focus on today is one, to get to know you and change how you think about things and build honest relationships. So get to know you. How do you get to know you? You have got to have self-awareness. You've got to have heightened self-awareness where you learn certain things about you and you understand it. And when you don't, this is when you come to someone like myself, a coach that can see outside of the frame that you're in and help you to give you insight as to what I see, right? And when you get to know you, here's an example. I was coaching a client yesterday, and her expression was that she gets stuck in overcoming her mistake. When she makes a mistake, however bad it is, no matter how big, how small, she has a hard time letting go so she can move forward. It kind of eats up her day, her time, her emotion, and it's affecting her well-being. It's affecting her health, how she shows up at work, how she shows up in her relationship. And so we kind of paused there and we talked about it. And I appreciate, I thanked her for sharing it with me. But I said to her, as a coach, I ask a lot of questions, and I teach my clients to make sure you have a practice of asking yourself honest questions. We have to ask ourselves the right questions, because if you ask yourself the wrong question, you're going to get the wrong answer. You're going to go down the wrong rabbit hole. Right? So it's important that you have the right questions. So the first question I asked her is, okay, thank you for understanding and realizing that you made a mistake. Okay. Now, can you fix that mistake? Can you undo it? She said, no. I said, okay. What can you learn about this mistake? And I paused, and she listed a few things. And then I had some follow-up questions. I said to her, now, those things that's coming up for you, write them down. Get a piece of paper and pen and make a list of the lessons you can draw from this negative, hurtful experience that you had. And she wrote it down. I said, okay, now that you've learned these things, what can you do with that? And I paused and waited for her to share. She said, I can move forward by applying the lessons that I've listed in my next situation. I said, very good. And while you're doing that, make sure you apply two things: self-compassion and forgiveness. It's so important that we apply those two things to the lessons, because if we don't learn to forgive ourselves and be less, stop beating ourselves up, we're not going to move forward in a healthy way. That resilience is going to be null and void. It's not going to work. You've got to add compassion and release yourself of it. Realize that you can't fix it. You can't go back and undo it, but you can move forward. This is why in the car, for those of you who drive, you have the windscreen that you look to go forward and the rear view to look just to make sure you're clear to go over into the next lane. Your mistakes are there as your rear view mirror to look back and tap into what you learned over there and apply it going forward. And the changing how you look at things. Wayne Dyer has a quote that says, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. It is important to change how you look at things. So what I had to do with my client is to go a little bit deeper and help her to reframe what happened in the mistake, and also to retrain her mind how to think about it, because it is critical that she has a new way of thinking, a better way of thinking, a creative way of thinking about that painful, negative experience, so that she can move forward in a healthy way and stop beating up herself. So you've got to change it. So you got to reframe it and retrain your mind so you can release it. Right? And the last point I want to focus on is building honest relationships. So when you have an honest relationship or people that you do life with, you may have 3, 2, or 1 key person that you've given permission to speak into your life, to give you feedback, to tell you, listen, girl, your crown is tilted. You're messing up right there. You need to fix that. And these are people that you value, so they speak to you in love, and when they correct you, they're not belittling you, they're not putting you down, but they're helping you see where you need to fix so that you can go forward in a healthy way. And these are ways to build your resilience. So when these people tell you the truth, you will walk it out. And as a coach, I am also here to help you change how you look at things and help you develop tools and practices that you can walk out. I am your coach. I am your sister. And know that resilience is available to you, right? Resilience is available to you. So it's time that you practice it. It's time that you use it to build your mental fitness muscle. Have a great day, and may God bless you. Bye-bye.